Welcome to this episode in our series on the Lord's Prayer. Today we're looking at the phrase, as we forgive those who sin against us. Last time, you remember, we looked at asking God to forgive us. In this session we're looking at us forgiving those that trouble us or sin against us. In the last session we saw that God unilaterally forgave us before we even asked for it. And so in the prayer, we're kind of asking God for that continuation of grace to forgive us our sins and the things that we do wrong. In the follow-on part of this phrase, it talks about us being the one that forgives others. It's really a prayer that we become more Christ-like, that just as God forgave us, that we could become more forgiving to other people that trouble us, or people we feel have fallen short towards us. It's a prayer that we might treat others as Christ treated us. When I think back to my younger days, I really could be quite judgmental of people that I didn't agree with. But these days, my default position is just trying to understand the other person's point of view, trying to understand what makes people do things that don't seem right. So what changed between then and now? Well, what changed between then and now is that God forgave me. And when we've been forgiven things, the next step really is to think about living in forgiveness towards other people. And in the story of the woman that pours expensive perfume on the feet of Jesus, he makes the point that those who have been forgiven much will love much, and those that have been forgiven little will likely love little. Those who've been over to the dark side and come back are often much more ready to forgive others for their shortcomings than those who feel they've lived a righteous life and have become self-righteous. Forgiving other people does not mean that you accept what they did was right. Forgiving other people does not mean that you allow them to wrong you again. Forgiving others is more about a release for you. There are some things that happen to us, and I include myself in this, that are very difficult to let go of. But in certain parts of the world, there's a way that people catch a monkey and they tie a sort of narrow-neck vase to a stake with a wire, and they put some food, some nuts or something, in the jar, and then the monkey can only get his hand in the jar while his hand is empty. And then when it's in the jar and he grasps hold of the nut or the food that's in there, he then can't get his hand out, and that's how they trap the monkey. Now all the monkey has to do to be free is to let go of the thing he's hanging on to. That's all he has to do. If he lets go of it, he'll be free. His hand will come out of the vase and he can run away and enjoy his life. But the monkey won't let go of the food. And in the same way, we can hang on to things from our past and we struggle to be free of them. And talking about forgiving others is a way where we can let go of the past, let go of the hurt that was done to us, and we can be released and set free. That's the concept of forgiving others. It doesn't make what they did right. It doesn't mean they're allowed to do it again. It means that we get free and can move on with our life. And when we're not really used to following this part of the teaching of Christ, it's best not to begin with something massive or something that appears massive to us. Just like going to the gym, you start small where your muscles are a bit weak, and you do small exercises that gradually build up the muscle. And in the same way, when we're trying to live a life of forgiving others, we start with small things that are really easy to forgive in the end, and we get into the flow of forgiveness. And it's a deep area, and there are going to be things that we really struggle with letting go of. Just like that monkey thought he had to hang on to that food in the jar because that's what he'd come for, and he couldn't let go. And then it killed him because he was trapped. But if we can let go of the thing, we can get free. And this is quite a deep teaching, but it's there in the Lord's Prayer that we forgive others as we have been forgiven. Thanks for joining me again today on this part of the study of the Lord's Prayer. If you'd like to be a partner with this ministry and get this series out to a much wider audience, do visit our website, rsvptrust.co.uk, and hit the donate button, and there you can become a partner with us financially. I hope you're finding this series helpful or inspiring. Do drop a little comment in the comments section below with your ideas and thoughts on the Lord's Prayer. And also don't forget to give us a like on YouTube. Hit that red subscribe button, click the little bell icon, and I'll see you in the next video.